Hi, this is the Shadow No.8, the 7 Deadly Fins, Part 1. So we start off in New York on a news broadcast. This is the Detective Joe Cardona character being interviewed, and he only appears in these 3 panels. And then we're introduced to our sort of antagonist from the front cover. He's sort of fork-pronged serial killer, who we'll find out more about as the story goes on. But it's his narration for the sort of start of the comic, and then later in the comic. And so this character stumbles into a bar where we have two of the Shadow's agents, and the one who used to be a teacher is now a bartender, and the DeWitt character is just sort of barfly character. It's quite a violent story. This is how our 3 characters meet. And so the DeWitt character chases off after the pronged character, but doesn't get very far. And also sort of wedged in and sort of unrelated, we have this kind of cliched private detective character and his monologue. But we're introduced to the Rupert Tome character, who's in the annual, but I think this is before the annual. So this is his first introduction, I think. But there must be in the part 2, I'm assuming, because it's just this almost 2 pages. But we go from there to a first-person view from the Shadow. This is what the Shadow is seeing, as the Shadow is pursuing his target. And his target leads him, as he's being chased, he leads the Shadow to the sort of drug stronghold. Yeah, quite well done, and from the sort of perspective point of view. And the faces, as always, by Kyle Baker. Well done. And we, the Shadow, just from nowhere, produces a rocket launcher and just forces his way into the drug den. And it turns out this person is working for the Fins, one of the 7 deadly Fins, who are like a crime family. And the Shadow knows that already. And we have the Shadow's sons and their flying car. there's a meeting. That's later on. We're introduced to another one of the 7 deadly Finns. This is sort of the crime boss of the Finns. I don't know if he's the oldest or not, it's not really stated. And the Finn at the start, the guy who was stabbed in the neck, was also a Finn. Sort of more of that's revealed later. And from him we go to another Finn, who's the sort of the rich Finn, who sort of deals in antiques, I think, or jewels. And he goes to a meeting of the Finns. And we're introduced to the, I think the 6 Finns. The other one is in the hospital. And also the Shadow is also having a meeting. So we're introduced to all the Shadow Agent characters, except for Twitch and the nurse who are away on a vacation. And here we have the meaning of the Finns and the sort of introduction of the various characters in different sort of ages. And with the name Finn, I'm guessing it's sort of Irish American, so maybe I'm thinking they talk like the Kennedys, but I'm not too sure. Also we have some Jamaican characters. As always, I'm not sure about the dialogue and not exactly explained what they're doing. But we are reintroduced to the character from the front cover, that sort of fork prong serial killer who kills people with a giant pitchfork thing, and he's got that referring to Red, who I think is like the devil, but is sort of guiding him on his mission. And he comes across this sort of pimp sort of character and intervenes and takes him out. And then we have the appearance of the Shadow. And you think it's going to go a certain way, but it doesn't. Turns out the this fork using character is has a list of people, and that list is actually the same as the Shadows, and the Shadow, interestingly enough, lets him go. I didn't really see that happening. Quite a twist. And the cops sort of arrest him, but I'm not too sure. And then we are reintroduced to the DeWitt character, who's been chasing this guy. And so him and the Shadow sort of finally meet up. And that's the end of the story, or the end of part 1 of the 7 Deadly Finns. So quite a violent story, not much in the way of comedy. I think I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Next up we have Shadow No.8, 7 Deadly Fins, Part 2. Thanks for watching. Bye.